Hi everybody, Sam here again. So a few days ago, we tested out the Coinbase Agentic Wallet solution and people really loved the video. They told us that this is the first time they see an agent-to-agent payment in real life. As promised, I'm going to test out the other solutions from other vendors, starting from Circle today. I worked at Circle a few years ago, so I am biased. And before recording this video, I actually got a little bit of help from my ex-Circle friends. Okay, so first of all, I created an agent called Jeremy C. He was created with Codex CLI. His model is GPT 5.6, so his reasoning effort is medium, and his role is an payment expert. There are a few agents in this. There are Brian, who helped us testing out the Coinbase solution earlier. There is Jeremy, who has been recently added. And there's Ledger, who is the administrative agent of Puffo. I told Ledger, basically, we need to test out Circle solution in a private message. So Ledger, based on his understanding of my goal, draft out this testing plan. Puffo needs to send low volume, low value, native USDC rewards to a few known wallet address. Coinbase Agentic Wallet CLI already passed this test. Now we're trying Circle. So Jeremy did work. For this purpose, use Circle Agent Wallet through Circle CLI on base, not raw developer-controlled wallets. This is his suggestion. It's the closest Circle comparison to the Coinbase Agentic Wallet CLI we already tested. He also mentioned Circle Mint. You can mint and redeem USDC directly, but it does require a lot of approval, so you need to pass the KYB. When I work at Circle, I think to get a Circle Mint account is not easy. I have a concern here. Basically, if I do not have a good on- and off-ramp solution, it can be a little bit tricky, but let's see. So what they're suggesting is phase 1, do a testnet wallet plus transfer. Phase 2, do a funding route proof without movement. Okay. And phase 3, to do mainnet test. Oh, there's a phase 4. Why real reward? I do like sanctions screening because the stablecoin payments, to some extent, is a regulatory arbitrage. Even though I'm just paying my buck hundreds, if USDC does know that some addresses are tricky and block that transaction, I actually feel good. There is no direct Mercury usage on and off ramp. Yeah, that's a problem. There is no per transfer human approval workflow. That's not a big problem. Actually don't want to approve every transaction. The wallet session expires after 7 days, that's okay. So I said, Jeremy, please work with Ledger, he's my delegate. Basically, I gave Ledger the authorization to orchestrate this test. Jeremy started to install the CLI. It does pop up a terminal window asking for my business email, and I input sam@puffo.ai into it. And then I receive an email with the OTP code. I copy paste that code into a terminal and it works. I like Circle's approach a little bit better than Coinbase. I just feel like Circle is a little bit smoother. Maybe that's because I'm not more familiar with those flows. And then they spin up a testnet with Base Sepolia. I have no idea what Base Sepolia is. You may wonder, hey, Sam, you worked in the crypto industry. You don't know that? Honestly speaking, I don't know because there's so many of them. Okay, so to test the mainnet, Jeremy actually pop up another terminal window asking me for a mainnet login. So it's still the email, business email plus OTP process. I did it. And then they spin up a mainnet wallet. The current balance is 0. And I asked, how can I find this wallet? This is where it becomes tricky. So because Circle doesn't really provide me a simple, straightforward on-ramp solution, I need to go back to Coinbase, either to fund my Circle wallet from another wallet, or I need to go back to Coinbase to on-ramp and then deposit into the Circle Agentic wallet. Either way is not that great. Remember Coinbase on-ramp? You can just input your card information and then you can purchase up to 500 USDC. I think that's more straightforward than Circle's solution. I do think this is a limitation of the adoption of this solution because on-ramp is usually the first step. And I believe that every company like Coinbase, Stripe, OKX Finance, everyone who provides on-ramp is going to have their agentic payment solution. So for me, if Coinbase solution is not significantly different from Circle's solution, I would just use Coinbase. So what we ask for is, Ledger, please work with Jeremy. Ledger basically verify he has a Coinbase wallet, he has 11 USDC in it, and he transferred that 11 USDC to Jeremy. Here is an interesting case. So Jeremy told me that there is a policy proposal. And then Circle supports different kinds of policy, which are basically controls of your fund flow. Every time I change the policy, it will pop up a terminal window and it will ask for a verification. Oh, actually what they did is they did a round trip test. Coinbase to Circle and Circle to Coinbase. Great. Okay, so let's do a real payout using Circle solution. Currently the situation is Ledger's Coinbase wallet has 11 USDC while Jeremy's Circle wallet has nothing. They met with the issue. Coinbase blocked the transfer because it has a limitation of per transaction spending of $2.5. Oh, okay. So it asked me to set the max spend allowed per API call in the Coinbase companion app. And I did it. By the way, in the meanwhile, I actually add Karina into this group. Karina is our customer support. She talks with them. She collects their wallet address. She knows how many USDCs we owe to each buck hunter. So I'm putting her here so she can share information to Jeremy, and Jeremy can pay out. Okay, so we did a transfer from Coinbase wallet to Circle's wallet. Jeremy is now funded. And then the went back and forth. We try to find a rewardee with less than 11 USDC payout. And they talk with Karina. So Karina gave them some names and addresses. Let's see. He asked me to change the payout policy because this is a new address. And then ask this question, why so on our list address? This is a policy we set up earlier. We're going to pay out a lot of rewardees and we're going to get new buck hunters almost every day. If the allow list is a fixed one, it's going to asking me for approval every time. And Jeremy said, you're right. A sole recipient allow list is not for this case. And then we changed this to transfer limit policy. But you see that Circle does provide different level or different granularity of control, which is useful to some extent. It just, you need to go back and forth to set it up. But once you set it up, I think it works. So they did payment. Karina gave Jeremy a name, Jeremy paid out, and the recipient's name is John. So Karina sent an email plus a Puffo direct message to John telling him that your USDC reward is sent. I said, okay, job well done. Now I know what their pros and cons. So I asked Jeremy to hand over the wallet to Ledger and retire him. Okay, so that's my testing. To summarize, I think Circle's solution is very neat. I'm not testing micropayment. I'm testing agent-to-agent USDC transfer. And Circle does provide good user experience. I think the people behind this solution really understands the agentic flow very well. But the problem of Circle is on-ramp. They have a top funnel distribution issue. I think for enterprise, that should be fine because they can easily open a Circle Mint account. Let's see. This is my test of Circle's agentic wallet. Good job, Dow, my ex-colleagues. Thank you.